Hey, Curtis,
Hey Oz,
what movie do you have to kick off our new theme?
to kick off this month's theme, I've got the Aaron Burr Peanut Butter Guy, brought to you by Children of the Corn, mixed in with a little bit of Mad About You, all in the vein of the Weather Channel. This week we're talking about Twister.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Let's Talk About Flicks, the podcast where we take a monthly theme, new month, new theme.
New month, new theme.
This month's theme is, gosh, barn it. These are just movies about barns.
Yes, I love this theme so much. Gosh, barn it.
Gosh, barn it.
Gosh, barn it.
I'm one of your hosts, Oz.
I'm the other host, Curtis.
And before we get moving too far, we will give a shout out to our Patreon subscribers. Don S., Aaron A., Mandy K., Melissa L., Colin K., and Lyle M. Thank you one and all for your patronage.
Yes, thank you.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a review and all that fun stuff you're supposed to do. And if you don't want to trouble with that, just go ahead and bookmark our website, letstalkaboutflix.com, where you could catch up on all of our episodes, with the exception of future episodes. We don't have those done yet. And you can check blog, too.
We're in the now. That was then. This is now.
So, yeah, just been super busy with work. So when it comes to watching extra movies and writing extra blogs, it's been a little dry.
It's that time of the year. We both work in public education.
Yep.
Once you get past spring break, it's just a sprint.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm looking forward to getting back to that. I'm still on Nanook of the North that I need to watch in my next Criterion. Man, it's just, I'm not looking forward to it. It's like a 1922 black and white silent pseudo documentary, and I'm sure it's fine. I just haven't got to it yet. So I haven't given up on the Criterion. Right now I've hit kind of a block, and I just need to push through this like hour 20.
That's okay. It'll be worth the wait.
Yeah,
for Nanook of the North.
Yeah. Well, the sad part is because of Criterion, it's like, oh, you waited a week. We've added 15 more titles too. So on the way to 20,000.
On the way to 20,000.
So Twister kicking off. Gosh, Barnett month.
Yes.
Yeah. You've got the plot for this one. We also have kind of a fun little of transition month.
Yes,
or transition week as Jamie Gertz sees her way out of this movie just the way that we saw her way out of Jamie Gertz month.
Yes.
So thank you guys. Just making an appearance. I'll catch you later.
Well, yeah, I love, because again, as we talked about at the end of last week's show, our March month is Patreon subscriber month, but that always bleeds into April. So whatever the April theme is gets shortchanged, and it just happened to be Jamie Gertz month. So we went with a movie that both fit the new theme and the old theme.
Yeah.
And so, this is kind of like hybrid week.
A little bit. And which kind of also coincidentally kind of runs with our theme of how can we fit in an extra little bit. Like last year, it was Cop and a Half to wrap up Cop movie month. So we got 3.5 cops.
We did get 3.5 cop movies out of that. Yeah.
And so this is just a little bit of this is like, the mystery flavors of like, like suckers.
Like dum-dums, the question marks, yes.
Yeah, they used to not have those, and then they realized that they're wasting so much sugar sucker material by cutting off one flavor before the next one it's through. They decided, let's just continue making suckers out of that blending, and then we'll just call them mystery flavored. And that's that's kind of what we've done with Jamie Gertz this week.
It's a stew flavored sucker.
Yeah, we're blending her out. So, all right. Well, like we said, you got the plot. I got the cast. Yes. This is a very large cast, but not necessarily an importantly large cast.
I would agree with that.
And so we have we've got our main two people, Helen Hunt as Joe Harding and Bill Paxton as Bill Harding. They are married in the movie.
Yes. But
they are estranged.
Estranged.
Yes. Jamie Gertz plays Dr. Melissa Reeves, who is Bill Paxton's new fiance.
Yes.
Despite still being married.
I forgot that as I was, putting my my 3, 2, 1s together, because again, it's been a long time since I've seen Twister, and I forgot what she was a doctor of. So I initially had like, what is she a doctor of? And then eventually it's revealed. But
yeah, I forget, what is she a doctor of?
They never explicitly say it. I'm assuming she either is an MD psychiatrist or a PhD psychologist.
Okay, so something with, social emotional type stuff.
Something involving mental health.
Not like doctor of mixology or
doctor of Dre.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's where I was going next. Actually, she's not a doctor of Dre.
Doctor of Chivago.
Yeah. So those are really, Joe and Bill Harding are our main two.
Yes.
Jamie Gertz is the doorstop that allows us to enter revisiting this relationship, I suppose. We've got, Joe and Bill's team, all of which I'm not going to mention, but we do have a Philip Seymour Hoffman as Dusty Davies.
Yes, we do.
Who is not my favorite Philip Seymour Hoffman role.
There's some fun to it, though.
There is fun. I'm not denying the fun.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, there's nothing to it. It's just shallow. But
this is high energy Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yes.
This is your Jack Black impersonation of Philip Seymour Hoffman doing a Jack Black impersonation.
Yeah. It's just him going woo while getting as close to Jamie Gertz's face as possible.
Yeah, it's Dusty Davies. He could have been called Crazy Davies as well if you want it. Like he's that wild one. He's the wild guy, and you know it because he wears like weird clothes and
and he drives a fun van.
Yeah, and no one else wants to ride with him.
Yeah.
We've got Alan Ruck as
we do.
Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day. He's just there. They all have little roles. You don't really know exactly what their roles are other than like he's computer this guy or she's read the data that lady. Or
it's like map guy.
Exactly.
And wind guy. And
driver guy.
Yeah.
So Alan Ruck is here. We have a Sean Whalen. He's one of that guys from probably the 90s. You've seen him in like People Under the Stairs and Cable Guy and Batman Returns.
Ooh, he was Wormser in Revenge of the Nerds 3, The Next Generation.
I was going to say he was in a Revenge of the Nerds. But that Cable Guy, that thing you do, Men in Black, Idle Hands, Never Forget. Like he's one of those like reliable, let's just bring that guy in. He's never going to have a big role, but you're going to see him in a bunch of, I won't say high budget, but at least recognizable
studio films.
Yeah, recognizable films. We have a Jeremy Davies.
We do, very young Jeremy Davies.
Yeah, Peter from Secretary makes an appearance. We have Lois Smith playing Aunt Meg, which is really Joe's only family member.
Yeah.
Can't forget Carrie Elwes playing the bad guy Jonas Miller.
Jonas. I put Jonas in all caps every time I typed his name.
You know he's
Jonas.
You know he's the bad guy because he and his crew have nicer vehicles and they're uniformed and they all wear black.
Yes, they're corporate sponsored tornado chasers.
Exactly.
And I'm not kidding with that string.
Nope. That's adequate. Anthony Rapp makes an appearance. Anthony Rapp from Adventures in Babysitting and School Ties, Dazed and Confused, Road Trip, like just another one of that guys in this era. And really that's about it. There's other people. Jake Busey makes an in and out appearance. You see Alexa Vega from like what were those Robert Rodriguez Spy Kids movies.
Yes,
you see Alexa Vega as a young Joe. I mean, it's just it's a
lot of just I recognize that face from somewhere.
And I think movies like this work when you fill out the cast with recognizable, I just
like working talent.
Yeah, and they're not going to overshine their spot. But it also gives credibility when you've got a Helen Hunt and a Bill Paxton and Bill Paxton in your leads. But when the rest of the cast is like, oh, okay, well, if they signed on, I guess just early on, if you're the first time watcher of Twister, like for me, that would make me feel more comfortable about what I'm about to watch. There's a lot of recognizable people that signed on to this. They must be doing something right.
Yeah. Well, and it lends credibility to the film too.
Yeah.
When you've got other people who are just kind of there, but you still kind of know them from something.
Yeah, and they have something to do. You
Yeah.
know, they're not just in and out. Like they're part of a team and they
Yeah.
do good team stuff. And so directed by Jan de Bont, which is basically it's foreign for big sloppy adventure.
For big loud explosion.
Exactly. Written by Michael Crichton, produced by Kathleen Kennedy. You got Amblin Entertainment, so
Spielberg was involved.
Like,
like this was, we as we kind of closed Less Than Zero last week, we were talking about this, and like a lot of names involved in this. Like this movie really does define, especially like a 90s summer blockbuster movie.
Yeah,
where
and I was going there next if you didn't. That we did close last week with movies that were successful during the summer and movies that have really like historically tent-poled themselves as this is a summer blockbuster.
Yeah.
And that list is not as big. This movie, Jurassic Park, Star Wars, Jaws, a Men in Black, those kind of like, they hold on. And so it's fun to watch a movie that really has kind of earned its blockbuster status.
Yeah, and I think I mentioned this last episode too, but estimated $92 million budget, which was, I mean, it's still big nowadays, but it's huge then.
Right. Well, this was back in an era where movies didn't make $100 million in opening weekend.
And this one, the final gross, the opening weekend was over 41, so it made almost half its budget back. And that's just domestically.
Right.
The gross worldwide was just a shade under 500 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it made 5 times its budget.
In which, again, it's important to remember, in the 90s is a huge deal.
Yeah.
Like today, with the cost of ticket prices and the budgets or whatever, it's like if a movie doesn't hit, if a quote unquote blockbuster doesn't hit $1 billion, it's a disappointment.
Yeah.
Like there's Pixar movies that are making $300 million that are considered a disappointment.
Yeah. That movie bombed.
Yeah, exactly. And so the expectations for the box office have changed. But back in the mid 90s, this was an event.
Yeah.
This wasn't just, there would be cool popcorn buckets today if this had come out. So,
did you see this in theaters?
I don't remember. I don't remember. I may have. My hometown was a 2-screen $1.50 entry movie theater. I remember being frustrated because I did go to the movies a lot because it was cheap and I enjoyed film. But I remember the aesthetic of the theater more than I remember what I saw in the theater.
Sure.
I remember being very, very frustrated when Jurassic Park took up one of the 2 screens for 12 straight weeks. Just because I wanted to see something else.
Something else, yeah.
And I'd already seen that at least once. But yeah, I remember being frustrated with Jurassic Park. I remember going on a date in 8th grade to Schindler's List. Yeah. If you're going to hold hands with a girl, Schindler's List not a bad one because it's a long movie.
It's, I guess, from that perspective, yes, it's a long movie, so you get more hand holding.
Yeah, and I remember seeing Scream 3 days in a row at the theater. Okay, but in terms of what else that I see, it doesn't. Yeah, I don't register.
I don't think I saw this one in the theaters.
Yeah, I don't think I did either. Just because but I could have. I just don't remember. I saw so many things. That little half block of South Main and Monmouth during my youth was, you had the movie theater, and then literally it was either right next door or 2 doors down was Anderson Sports Collectibles.
Oh, that's prime real estate right there.
Yeah, and so that was where I rode my bike. I would hit matinees all the time, and I was in the baseball card shop so much that they had all their cards and their high price. I remember putting a Dave Justice rookie card on layaway.
I love that layaway. You paid for. You used a check to pay for it.
Exactly, but I don't remember where I got money. But like that was my financial goal. Was I was a big Braves fan because of TBS. I wanted that Dave Justice rookie card. I remember I had a Lou Brock rookie card that I bought on layaway. But I was in there so often that the Anderson brothers that ran the shop. There would be like collectors that would come in and just buy packs just to rifle through for what particular card or cards they were looking for, and then just leave the packs. Yeah. Like if they didn't have it, they would just leave it. And I was in there so much that the Anderson brothers would hold back these opened packs of cards,
and
then just give them to me when I got there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's
and
cool.
So as a little, well, I wasn't ever little, but as a pipsqueak of a kid riding his bike several blocks uptown to go in and I would go in every time and buy a pack or two or just talk or whatever, but they would always give me this like brown paper sack full of Fleer or Pinnacle or Donruss or
I love this story so much.
The occasional Upper Deck pack I would get. And it was like heaven for me. They were already paid for the pack, so whatever.
Yeah.
And there wasn't anything worth for them to like sell separately.
Yeah.
But
it kept you coming back.
Oh yeah, and here I am, 46, almost 47 years old, just kind of reminiscing over that South Main Street block of Monmouth, Illinois.
And you remember that Topps 1993 Gary Gaetti that you pulled?
I remember I really enjoyed buying, because I would buy a Beckett baseball monthly.
Yeah.
And I would go home and I would put little colored stickers on my albums and reprice the cards like as if I'm ever going to sell them.
Yeah.
I remember learning the difference between 0.8 and 0.08 on a calculator as I was trying to total up the total value of my pack and realizing that this didn't make any sense. I hadn't learned decimals yet, so then I realized, that's an 8 cent, not an 80 cent. It was a fun time. I remember, because of the Beckett baseball price guide, trying to buy the oldest packs I could afford that they had available.
Yeah.
There was I think it was an 88 Topps or whatever, where like they had like a wood grained frame around.
I remember that. And sadly I'm going to correct you. It was 87. And
that's fair.
I have such a distinct memory. And I think it's funny that you mentioned that. If memory serves, that particular year of Topps was overproduced. And so the cartons themselves are worth nothing.
Right. Yeah.
Because they made so many of them. And because I remember finding unopened packs and boxes of the 87 Topps everywhere.
Yeah. And so they still came with a very stale stick of gum.
Yep. You break your teeth if you try to chew it.
And they would just destroy themselves. But it was a great time. Grandma would go to auctions. And she would just buy boxes of cards. Like, these are nothing but White Sox cards. These are nothing but, and she would do that out of the love of her heart, even though I'd get them and I'd be excited to go through them. But I knew there's nothing of any value in these, these sleeves of things. And I remember it was great gifts for me. This was back when you could when they would come in the Velveeta log shaped boxes, or if you get the complete set.
Yep.
Those would be Christmas gifts for me. Those are the things that I would ask for Christmas, of, the complete set of those Upper Deck or whatever. And, just because for my mind, they were so far out of price. There's no way. I remember being super irritated anytime you'd get a checklist card in a pack.
Oh yeah. Or a manager card.
Yeah. You felt ripped off. That was the golden, in my opinion, that was the golden era of collecting.
Yeah. Because late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah. You could get packs of several cards. It wasn't you're spending $9 on 4 cards in a pack with a guaranteed this, or it's just like anything these days. It's been monetized and elitist, and it's no fun. So my mom found all of my decks, and I've given them to my son, and he was never overly interested, but it is fun to weed back through them and be oh, there's that Tom Glavine misnamed Donruss MVP card. Oh, there's that Billy Ripken FU on the knob of the bat card.
Yep.
So that was fun.
I still have a box of the ones that when I was a Ute were either the most important to me. I have 2 Jerry Rice rookie cards.
Oh,
that I still have in my possession that are just sitting in a box that I should probably sell and do something with. But yeah,
right. Good for you. So, well, 20 minutes
Twister.
into this Twister. What's this movie about?
1996's Twister. That was a long walk we took there.
Twisted walk, one would say.
Yes, one would say.
It's not a straight path to Twister.
No, there's not. So we open actually in 1969. So we open in a moment in the past, kind of a little prologue. Like we had the prologue last week with Less Than Zero. Tornado warning, small farm town. We see a tiny dog in peril. It's a little Karen Terrier, so it's basically Toto. Wizard. I should have put Wizard of Oz into my movie Marriage, but whatever.
Well, a little too heavy-handed.
Yeah. There's a bad storm coming. They shelter. It's one of those old farm bunkers where, the entrance is outside of the house. You don't have a traditional basement.
Quarter mile away.
Yes. So they get to the bunker. It's the dad, the mom, the little girl. It's young Helen Hunt's character, and the little dog. And they make it to the shelter. But the wind is pulling the door up. And so dad goes over to try to hold the door down, and the wind pulls dad out. It was supposedly an F5, one of the worst tornadoes that Oklahoma had ever seen. So
it doesn't pull mom. Yeah, it doesn't pull mom or Joe out of the bunker. So
you may have just stolen my but that's okay.
Sorry.
That's all right. But we'll just acknowledge that now, where it's like, Dad was so preoccupied with holding the door closed,
right?
Where mom, Joe, and dog are just in the back of the bunker. So even when Dad gets sucked out, they're still there. They're also. It's not pulling everything out of the bunker.
No,
it's just Dad had to hold the door closed.
Yeah, don't want it to get in.
Knock knock. Land shark.
Right, Candygram from Mongo.
Mongo like candy. So that's the prologue sequence. A little bit of Joe's backstory. She's got a vendetta against
against wind,
against wind in general. I'm so, the more I think about it, I'm so disappointed. I for some reason I didn't put enough thought into my movie Marriage. Like A Mighty Wind would have been a good one.
That would have been a good one.
I'm so disappointed in my movie Marriage. Anyways, we cut to present day, quote unquote present day, as we see a really bad CG satellite outside of like orbiting Earth, because again, it's 1996.
Yeah.
And we see we keep cutting back throughout the movie to the National Severe Storm Laboratory, the NSSL, as it monitors severe weather activity near the Oklahoma-Texas border. And there's a record amount of tornadoes that are brewing from this predicted storm. So the scene is set, Oz. Mm-hmm. We meet TV weatherman Bill and fiance Melissa as they're driving to the area. He predicts that his estranged wife, Joe, and her team will be there. Bill wants to find her and get her to sign the dang papers.
Right. Actually, he knew exactly where they were. Like,
yes.
There wasn't like this driving into town asking around. It was they just
knew precisely where she would be.
Just went to Route 12. There they are.
So we cut the Joe in, as I put it all caps, in a sexy white tank top.
Yeah.
Using sophisticated weather equipment to monitor for rotation while spouting all of the weather terminology. We get a lot of that early on.
Yeah.
All the weather words.
Yep. Meteorologists are just sitting in the back all excited.
Yeah. Tom Skilling on a field day with this one.
He said Doppler.
We meet Joe's wacky team while in also in all caps. While an uncomfortable Melissa watches Bill approach Joe for the divorce papers, and we learn via exposition, of course, that Bill was once part of the team.
Yeah.
So they all know him. He's super comfortable there. Melissa is the audience stand-in. She's the one who's meeting everything for the first time, experience everything for the first time. Dusty, for the first time in the movie of several occasions, gets right up in Melissa's personal space and starts telling her about the suck zone. It's where the tornado sucks you up.
It's closest to the door.
Have you ever watched the show Ghosts?
No.
It's kind of like The Office. There was like a UK version of it, and the American version. The UK version is pretty good. The American version it's just absolutely hysterical. So the whole premise is a woman has a near-death experience, and so she can see ghosts.
Okay.
And the reason I bring this up is because when the ghosts, one of three things happens when you die. You go to hell, you just exist in the plane as a spirit, or you go to heaven. And when you go to heaven, they call it getting sucked off. Which, again, PG podcast. It's a PG-13 show, but that
just reminds me of JD Miles and Dog Bites Man with the get my beat off stick. I'm gonna beat all those women off you
with a stick. I think I made that reference with Patreon subscriber Melissa L the other day as well. Might have been while watching Twister, probably was.
Awesome.
So Joe shows an excited Bill. So he's there. He's in the thick of it. He's getting, his neurons are firing. Oz about one of 4 Dorothy units. Again, another Wizard of Oz comp here.
Right.
They're basically big science devices. The whole point of the movie is they're trying to use science to better measure how tornadoes work to set up better early warning systems.
Right.
Because Joe and her family had no warning when the tornado snuck up from around the corner on them back in 1969.
If they were looking, they'd have seen it tiptoeing through the field.
It was wearing a lot of dark clothing.
Hiding behind the tree.
just peeking out.
I got you.
It called on the phone first. It was just breathing on the other end.
Yeah, just really distracted them. Threw rocks in the other direction.
Yeah. But it turns out Bill had done the initial specs for the Dorothy unit. So he designed it. It's basically a big can that delivers these like sort of ping pong ball sensors that go up and measure how the tornado is working. So
apparently they're Bluetoothed.
Yes, apparently you can also stream your music through Dorothy as well.
Right? Yeah,
you can hear it from in the tornado.
Yep.
If you just need to hear Adele,
it's all Van Halen.
We were flipping through music videos yesterday, and we had an '80s video channel on, and Jump from Van Halen came on.
Oh.
One of my favorite videos of all time. Not that anything crazy happens, but it's just David Lee Roth doing like his leg kicks.
Being David Lee Roth. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just him being David Lee Roth for 4 minutes. It is glorious.
Yeah.
You could basically see him wiping the coke off of his nose in every take.
Yeah, I'm not a big Van Halen fan, but I'm definitely more of a David Lee Roth Van Halen than Sammy Hagar Van Halen.
And it was just because it was a little glammier.
Yes,
in the delivery, just because of David Lee Roth. Nothing against Sammy Hagar. I have an uncle, my Uncle Jeff, who you've met before. Jenna's dad. You know, he's in my words, the world's biggest Sammy Hagar fan.
Yeah, probably somebody has to be
over 100. I wouldn't be surprised if you've seen him over 100 times. Like it's that much. But just to watch
most
David
of them,
Roth.
most of them at Jewel Osco.
Most of them, yeah. He's there just shopping for rotisserie chickens.
Yeah, like, he hasn't heard him. He's just seen him.
He's just seen him out of the town.
Yeah, it's a stakeout from your Uncle Jeff.
So we kind of get the setup here. They're trying to use science. High energy orchestra music signals that the storm is brewing. Oz. The violins pick up, so that means we gotta go do something.
It's time to go.
The team jumps into action.
The fiddle is calling us.
Yes. Joe conveniently forgets to sign the papers to get Bill and Melissa to tag along with them. Which, Bill clearly wants no part of Oz. He's not excited about this at all.
No, I don't.
We'll just go with Melissa.
Yeah, but I'm going to ride with Joe. You go ahead and ride with Dusty. You ride with
Dusty. So we meet Jodas, the dreaded Jodas, and team pull along Bill, who Bill expositions to Melissa that Jodas is a rival storm chaser. He's corporate sponsored, and he's only in it for the money, not the science.
Yeah.
This movie is so funny.
I as much as I love Bill Paxton, he's not a very good expositionist. He just
I like expositionist better.
Yeah. He's just not like I love Bill Paxton.
Yeah, I agree. I will agree with you here.
But for an everyman kind of actor, this is it's like a little too heavy of continuous dialogue.
Yeah,
for Bill Paxton. I think I love Bill Paxton.
Yeah. So Joe's team, Jonas's team, they end up pulling over at the same gas station or something. Bill learns that Jonas copied his design from Dorothy, so he has his own version of Dorothy. And we get a Hollywood scuffle that ensues where you're basically just pushing each other in the shoulder.
you son of a bee. Like, this is where the Simpsons, them sound like fighting words would come into play.
Hey, you, let's fight. Let's fight words. So Bill, of course, after hearing about, Jonas copped his design, Bill is now back. He's fully back.
Divorce off. Yes. I'm in.
He's going to help the team. Melissa and Joe go inside. There's a kind of a little scene here that I think gets lost in the shuffle, but a really important little scene here. Joe had gone inside to buy a Coke or a coffee or something like that. And Melissa went inside to, I think, get like a lemonade.
Yeah, I do like this scene. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, very short scene, but really defines these two characters. Melissa calls out, they're both at the counter, and Melissa just calls out Joe for still being in love with Bill. Joe doesn't deny it.
No. And it's like the only time in the movie these two actually talk.
Yeah. Yeah,
despite being in the vicinity for the entire film, they're the only time that this is, woman to woman conversation.
Yeah. So I will, shout out to the screenwriters and for the editors for including this scene, because it's one of those scenes that you could easily it's not moving the plot along. It's not moving the action along. Right. And just this 30 seconds really defines both of those characters, and I think better propels the triangle amongst the three of them.
This was written by Michael Crichton and Anne Marie Martin. I'm going to give this scene credit to Anne Marie Martin.
There's no dinosaurs in this scene. So.
This doesn't have Crichton's fingerprints all over it.
No, there's no underwater aliens or dinosaurs.
Right.
So that this probably was not the product of Michael Crichton.
Probably not.
Yeah. So,
and if it was, that's why it's such a brief scene.
Yeah, that's true. We get an extended sequence of the cars from both teams chasing the storm. Bill and Joe argue over the relationship. Bill insists he's happy to Joe while he forgets Melissa's name.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
Joe and Bill's truck with Dorothy get ahead of the first tornado. They end up in like a ditch that they can't get the truck out of. The storm overtakes them before they can fully prep Dorothy, so they have to abandon the Dorothy unit and the truck to take shelter under the bridge so that they survive the tornado. Because there's also, we have to live through this as well as get the science and get the data.
That's partially important.
Yes. So the storm ends up throwing the whole truck with Dorothy into the air, and it almost hits Melissa, who's driving Bill's truck. So just spooking her even more.
Right.
They put another Dorothy unit into Bill's truck, and Joe, and Melissa end up chasing another tornado that turns into two tornadoes. We got sisters.
Sister Twisters. This is actually where Twisted Sister got its name.
Yeah, it is. Yes.
And Michael Crichton had written this screenplay years in advance.
Yes, and D. Snyder has Hollywood Insider info.
D. Snyder also goes by the pen name Anne Marie Martin.
Yeah. D. Snyder did get into filmmaking, so it's not that big of a leap. Yeah.
No. And so he's like, you know what? Twisted Sister, I'm going with that.
And then I'm going to work it into a movie 12 years later.
Yep. Yeah. D. Snyder and Alice Cooper both play the long game. They hide their intelligence to make total impact, which is another D. Snyder reference. Anne Marie Martin penned Deep Impact as well.
When Armageddon is here.
I watched that yesterday.
I ain't afraid of no asteroid. So basically, they get stuck between these tornadoes before they recede. They can't deploy the Dorothy unit. That's also where we get the infamous flying cow sequence.
Yeah.
Where there's literally a cow that's been picked up by the tornado, and Joe just points at it and goes, "Cow."
It's calm. The calm in the storm for these two to.
The cow's just chewing the cud.
Yeah, that's right. Move.
I was hoping we'd see other animals flying through there too.
It would have been nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Or even a bike, just for another Wizard of Oz reference.
Yeah.
We did see a bike. It got thrown into the windshield of the car that broke and then wasn't broken anymore, but that's whatever.
So Melissa watches Bill and Joe embrace over the thrill of the experience. So she's clearly becoming the third wheel really fast here.
Thankfully, it was just an embrace. It wasn't like a full-on, like, under the bridge moment.
Yeah.
You two were alone. We come up and, oh, am I interrupting?
I'm here also.
Yeah.
We get an Act 2 movie break as the team goes to Joe's Aunt Meg's place, who just happens to live right here as well.
Tornado Alley.
They go there for, as I put in my notes, for protein, character growth, and for the team to exposition to Melissa about the extreme Bill.
Yeah.
This is the Bill you don't know, Melissa.
And to find out a little bit more of why we don't say EF5.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of those, like, the whole room gets quiet. Like, the wind stops blowing. like, what about an F5? Oh. Only one of us has ever seen an F5, as they all kind of look to the ceiling where Joe's taking a shower.
He shall not be named.
That's true, yeah.
We get a series of chopper shots as says the team leaves to chase a new F3.
You say chopper shots, all I hear is Panda Watch.
Panda Watch. So they end up the team gets in front of the tornado, but wind, and they're trying to deploy the Dorothy unit, but the wind knocks the telephone pole into the truck and it knocks it over, and just they can't get it, and they have to retreat because, again, storm will kill you.
Yeah.
Melissa overhears Bill tell Joe, "You can't bring your dad back," and that he still has feelings for her.
Yeah.
Like,
got me right in front of you, Joe.
Yeah. That night, the team recuperates at a motel / drive-in theater,
which is actually not a bad setup. Like, concession stand, like, that's pretty sweet.
It is pretty cool, yeah.
As long as your drive-in experience is free, if you're renting a room, because that, like, if you're going to hit me double, no.
Yeah. Prostitute included.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Obviously.
I'll take some
popcorn. It's Oklahoma.
Some popcorn, some Raisinets, and a brunette.
Yeah. Because again, it's Oklahoma.
Yeah. So they're there. Of course, The Shining is playing at the drive-in theater because why not? Joe signs the divorce papers while kind of a cool sequence while a tornado just sort of appears out of the dark.
Right. Again, they're sneaky.
Yeah, they sneak up on you. Ninja training.
Yeah.
I think they're members of the Foot Clan.
They've learned their lesson.
Yeah.
You're too loud, people are going to run. If you got to sneak up on them.
Yeah. So it's head right towards them. Blows the screen over, the movie theater screen over as Jack Torrance is chopping at the door in pursuit of Shelley Duvall. So just kind of a fun sequence there. The team takes shelter in this like warehouse. There's things coming down all around them. After it passes, they're shaken by the experience. They learn that same storm is now headed towards Aunt Meg's community. Yeah. And again, they have no preparation for it because the early warning system is not adequate enough. So.
And it's nighttime.
Yeah. So it could sneak up on you out of nowhere.
It'll get you.
So as the team prepares to leave, Melissa breaks up with Bill.
Yeah.
And she says, I know I can't compete with your love for storm chasing, let alone for Joe. And she even says, I like the scene too. Like she even says, like, I'm really not that upset. Like I'm not as upset as I thought as I think I should be. Yeah. And that I know my way home.
Yeah. Like I saw, like, it's like she hadn't met the real Bill until this.
Correct.
And then realized, I can't do this.
Yeah. Well, and he can't pull himself away from it.
No. Oh, right. Yeah. Like the whole purpose of this rendezvous was to get the divorce papers signed so we can move on with our life. And tornado sucked right back into it.
So, as they're driving to Meg's, Joe laments the town has no warning. As they pull into town, they see a father and mother with a young blonde girl, very reminiscent of her youth and her family. Meg's home is destroyed. Bill and Joe go in and pull out her and her dog, before the building collapses. And Joe is looking at Meg has all sorts of like kind of countryside aluminum like wing catchers.
Yep.
kind of things you get at like a farmer's market,
yard ornament type stuff.
Yeah. And she's watching them, and she thinks to herself, "This is why Dorothy isn't working. The ping pong ball sensors need to be able to catch in the wind." And so,
which Bill had mentioned something similar to that earlier, not necessarily with a solution, but more like, they when it, I think it was Dorothy 2 tipped over, or maybe it was Dorothy before they got into the argument about, I'm right here, you can't get your father back. Like, they're just rolling all over the place. And he's like, how are these going to stay in the storm? But
so they end up using product placement to fight a bunch of empty Pepsi cans, and so they cut the like aluminum from the cans and make little like wings for the ping pong balls to catch.
They got those cans in a hurry.
Yeah, they did. I mean, they weren't a drive-in theater. There's probably
I would like to have seen them pull up to a Piggly Wiggly and just buy cases of Pepsi and then chugging them.
not dumping them out.
No,
here you go, Dusty. It's your time to shine. So the next day, they've made the wings for the sensors. They chase a very large tornado, and they set the Dorothy unit, but tree debris from the storm knocks over the Dorothy unit. So they're basically, there's two problems. The first problem is the sensors don't have a way to catch the wind, and the other one is just that the Dorothy unit itself is too light.
Right.
Because it just tips over the moment, like like a tree branch.
Tree bumped it and
spilled. And so while they're escaping from that storm, we get another like kind of trailer shot where the wind is picked up an oil tanker, and just throws it in front of Joe and Bill's vehicle.
I'm just glad all of the tornado debris falls on the road in the path of vehicles. Yeah, just it's nice that they're being cognizant of farmers and all the work they're going to have to do to their fields. Yeah. So no debris in the fields. Yeah, all on the road.
Asphalt is a natural magnetic field for debris.
I have heard that.
Yeah, it's science.
Yeah.
So Bill and Joe warn Jonas and his driver Eddie, "You're getting too close to the tornado." And of course, they ignore Bill and Joe, and Eddie, his driver, is impaled. PG-13 impaled. But impaled by like a home like one of those like antenna towers.
Yep.
Just goes right through the driver's side.
Yeah.
As their truck is then picked, like you see it sort of from Joe and Bill's perspective from probably about a mile away, but it just picks up the truck and throws it. And Jonas and Eddie are.
I love the intense look on everyone's faces when the Jonas and Eddie truck are being dealt with by the tornado.
Yeah.
And nobody has a finalized reaction until the truck lands and explodes.
Like while it's being thrown through the air,
they're all holding out just a little bit of hope. And then it hits and they're like,
oh man.
Yeah, like
he might still make it.
Yeah, there's a chance.
Maybe it'll just gently set him back down where it picked him up from.
Yeah, so that was fun to watch. Just everyone like,
please land in the pillow factory. Please land in the pillow factory.
Right, the Oklahoman pillow factory. That's where my pillows are made.
Yeah, it's exactly it. So it's going to be a soft landing there.
Yeah.
So they're still driving away from the tornado, and they're forced to drive through a house that's been blown into the road
because everything drops in the road. Because these tornadoes are after Joe.
Yeah, it's
Bill can feel.
Gotta come back to that.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
go ahead.
So they make their way back somehow, and they end up strapping the last of the 4 Dorothy units into Bill's truck.
Yeah.
And he and Joe are in it. They set the cruise control. The truck drives itself. They bail out. The truck drives itself into the storm. And the weight of Bill's truck is able to stabilize the Dorothy unit long enough for the sensors to deploy and for the team to get the sweet, sweet data that they've been looking for.
We did it. It only cost us an F-150
and Jonas
and the previous vehicle
and all the Dorothy units.
Yeah, but
we did it.
Yeah, this ham radio level science is working.
So after they deploy the Dorothy unit, the tornado gets mad and then turns towards. What'd you do?
It's like a Super Mario Brothers 3 where you have to You have to jump over the dust storm. Yeah.
Where the sun is coming at you. Yeah.
That's what it feels like. Yeah.
So it's coming at him. It's coming right for us.
It's turned. It's redirected itself.
So it turns and it's basically chasing after Bill and Joe to the barn.
Yeah.
Which is our barn reference for this month.
To the barn.
They end up running into a barn and somehow in a room that is filled entirely with scythes.
Yeah. It's like you walked into the set of Evil Dead.
Basically, yeah. Yeah. Like every scythe in southern Oklahoma is in this barn.
Well, they even make a reference like who are these people? Like it was a fun
moment. It was
throwaway line of
Yeah, it turned into a legit horror movie for about 15 seconds.
Yeah, just a moment until we realized that it's long enough for them that's after them.
Yeah, and long enough for them to wink at the audience.
Yeah.
And so they end up leaving the barn. They run to a pump house. They strap themselves to pipes. These pipes run 30 feet deep.
Yeah. I know science and ag.
Yeah. And so, of course, Bill and Joe survive an F5 tornado. Nothing hits them.
Yeah.
While they're literally
no debris. No.
Yes.
And the tornado just sits there a minute, because there's an extended time where they're just in the eye of the storm looking up at it. They just tornadoes just sitting on them. We're gonna we'll get you, Joe.
So of course they survive because that's what this movie does. And the team celebrates. They get the data. Bill and Joe kiss and credits roll.
Yeah.
And
Van Halen's Shine On
Shine On.
And everyone's just watching Bill and Joe make out.
Yeah. Dusty's like,
Yeah. Like, meanwhile, in Boogie Nights, I think I know what role I want next.
Yes. He had just gotten done reading the script for Boogie Nights.
I love to watch.
Yeah. That, folks, is 1996's Twister.
Yeah. Actually, they cut the scene out, but he comes up to Bill and he goes, "You think I can kiss you?"
That was the last scene that hit the editing room floor.
Yeah. If you stick around for his post credits,
he was actually talking. He was talking to the sister tornadoes.
Yeah, you think I can kiss you?
Think I can kiss you? Your sister too.
Yeah, right.
Right Kissing on the mouth.
Sisters.
So, folks, every week Oz and I give our own unique rating to the film we've been yapping about. In this case, Twister. Oz, how would you rate this flick?
I'm giving it an EF4.
EF4? Okay.
What are you getting at?
I'm going to go pipes that run 30 feet deep.
Oh, 30-foot pipes.
30-foot pipes. These pipes run 30 feet deep.
I'm glad that he yelled loud enough that you can hear him over the tornado as well.
As well as over the pipes, too.
Yeah, over the pipes. Those are deep pipes.
They're deep pipes.
Pipes are deep.
Folks, every week Oz and I scour the interwebs searching for unprofessional reviews that tickle our funny bones, and we hope they tickle yours as well in this week's edition of Outside Insight. Oz, what is your outside insight?
My outside insight, as always, comes from Letterboxd. It's from Reese. Mm-hmm. It's a 4-star review left just a couple years ago.
Okay.
Over the course of less than 48 hours, this man serves his ex-wife divorce papers, chases 7 tornadoes, loses his car to a natural disaster, watches 2 men die, gets dumped by his current fiance, saves the lives of a dog and a woman, gets back with his ex-wife, makes a historical scientific breakthrough, and watches The Shining at a drive-in movie theater. 4 stars.
That's a lot. That's a lot of boxes to check.
He just went to get a signature. So... Big weekend for Bill.
Yes, that was.
So, but that was fun. That actually was like the top review, like the top liked review on Letterboxd. I'm like, yeah, that's fun. I'll take, because a lot of times there's just like one little line. So I'm like, no, you're right. Like what'd you do this weekend, Bill? Like,
went to sign my divorce papers.
But so, what do you got for your outside insight?
I got 2 I'm going to share. Both, as always, from the Internet Movie Database. The first is a 10 out of 10, left in March of 2023 by GB Vegeta, with the subject line, Best Storm Movie Ever. No idea why this movie isn't rated at least a 9 out of 10. If it's ever on TV, you know you're watching it. Bill Paxton is dope. The movie has a good bad guy, not just the tornadoes. LOL. Does it make scientific sense? I don't know. Don't care. It's fun AF. Seriously, folks, if you haven't seen Twister, you are missing out on life.
Yeah. Life begins once you've watched Twister.
Life begins with Twister.
Anyone who was born before 1996,
you haven't lived.
You haven't lived.
You haven't
lived. Feel bad for those that died before the release of Twister.
Yeah, because they didn't live.
You just never lived. You wasted your time on Earth.
Bill Paxton is dope.
Dope AF, actually.
The other one I'm going to share is a 1 out of 10, left in February of 2008 by Angry One, with the subject line, "Don't try this at home."
I think it's a tornado wrote this one.
It was. It was an inadequate F1 tornado.
Yeah.
Did everyone feel the way I felt? I was rooting for the Twister. I live in Madisonville, Kentucky, where in 2005 we had the strongest tornado, F4, but some say F5, in the country that year.
Fake news.
Amazingly enough, we did not lose a single life in that hellstorm, but we did not have the bland characters living in our town that live in this movie. And the final scene where Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt strap themselves to the pipes. Well, just so you know, a tornado of that intensity is going to rip concrete from the ground, making you forget it was even there. It's going to pick up combines and toss them like children's blocks. It's going to suck their eyes out of their heads. It's going to strip skin from their bones. For them to survive and then just sit there and smooch, well, it's sickening. If that had actually happened, kissing is the farthest thing from your mind. You want to know where your change of pants is at.
I'm so jealous of your IMDb reviews.
I'm assuming it was written in that voice.
Yeah. I think it was typed in that voice.
I basically broke into Tucker Carlson there.
Yeah. Oh, I love it, though.
It's just so you know.
A tornado. Rip the skin for your bones.
It's going to suck the eyes from your head.
You're going to forget there's even concrete there.
It's going to strip the skin from your bones.
Let me tell you. Oh, I love it. He's so angry. Well, we only survived because we aren't like any of the cast of this movie.
I've survived a tornado of that magnitude.
I've watched Twister, therefore my life has begun. Like
I was born after 1996.
Let me tell you. Oh, I love it.
All right, folks. It is that point in the show you've all been waiting for. The Let's Talk About Flick's signature segment, the 3-2-1, in which Oz and I each share 3 goods, 2 bads, and 1 about this week's movie, Twister. Oz, what are your 3 goods?
My first one is lovers with common hobbies. Like
I like that.
Bill and Melissa clearly didn't have much compatibility other than just enjoying each other's company, but Bill and Joe clearly belong together. They have common hobbies.
They do. Yes.
Yeah. 2, we talked a little bit last week too. This movie holds up.
It does. Yes.
It's fun. It's fun. You don't, with the exception of Dusty, which that's just that character. Nobody's over the top. This movie did a great job of casting stars in Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt that are
not A-list stars,
not A-listers, right?
But
that's
people that are still recognizable enough. Yeah,
that you brought in stars that play believable everyday people.
Yeah.
And you let the effects of this movie take over, because that's what this is about. This is about the effects. So this movie holds up. And third, Carrie Elwes is so smarmy.
Yeah.
I think Carrie Elwes is in certain roles a very underrated actor.
Yes, I would agree.
I didn't care for him in like Saw. And he doesn't do a lot of stuff, but what he does, like he's a good like B+ level actor.
Mm-hmm.
Give him the chance, like in A Princess Bride or something, he could carry. But even he was part of an ensemble there. He wasn't, it wasn't just the Carrie Elwes show. Same with Robin Hood Men in Tights. He had a team there. So he could be a really solid lead of a team. And I like Carrie Elwes. I thought, he could play a good guy. He could clearly play a good bad guy. I like Carrie Elwes. Those are my 3 goods. What do you got?
Yeah, I love all of those. I have a lot of goods here. I'm going to give a couple quick ones that didn't make the cut.
Yeah.
Some of the we talked about the one quick scene between Melissa and Joe, but I also really like the Melissa Bill breakup scene.
Yeah.
And just the cat, and you kind of, we insinuated this before, but just the casting of the side characters and how, like, you could argue that they each have their own personalities, but they're also just one giant supporting character.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
but it worked. Like, I love the dynamic of the team and how they each had just enough screen time to give you a slice of personality.
Well, this movie gets boring real quick if you can't cut away from Bill and Joe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they did a great job casting actors that gave us someone to cut away to that can hold their own in that quick little cutaway scene.
Yeah.
Because it's either tornadoes, Bill and Joe, or we got to cut to something.
Yeah.
And everybody did a good job cutting with being cut to.
And then another sort of backup on that same note, another sort of backup good here was this is 1996, and one of the female team members is very heavily coded.
Yes.
In the LGBTQ community.
Very heavily.
They didn't, and I guess I'm framing it as a good because they didn't explicitly say it, which you could also say is a bad in a way, but just the fact that they were able to almost like sneak in a very, I'll just say like a very lesbian coded character.
Yeah.
Into a movie in the mid 90s.
In some shots, even borderline like masculine.
Yeah.
Like there's certain if you weren't paying attention, you would think that there's just a team of men.
Yeah.
Like that's that. And I'm with you though. I love the fact that it was so accepted amongst the crew that it wasn't a topic of conversation.
Yeah. So I'm framing it as a good. There's parts of it that you could frame as a bad, but I'm going to find the silver lining in that one. So
like I think it's a good, and just to kind of double back on what I said I like you said, that they didn't break. Like I really like the fact that it is coded that way, and it's not a part of a story. There's no side jokes about being attracted to someone. It's just you're part of the team. We don't care. We don't care what you love or who you love. I do. I really like that whole, like, we are just this montage of people, this collaboration of people. And the fact that if it was coded that way on purpose, that whatever, like this movie's about tornadoes, like this,
because she's good at her job.
I would like to get to a point in society and I love that everyone has, their passions, but I would love to get a point in society. And I know it seems obtuse and it's not, where we don't have to talk about the differences.
Yeah.
That they're just like, whatever, like everyone's just whatever. I would love to get there. Not to pull away from culture or topics, but just, if you have a person in a cast that is coded lesbian, that we can watch this movie and a character isn't pointing out that, oh, by the way, there's, she's a lesbian over there and it's okay. Like, no, it's like, just throw it in there. And
like the character's been working with the team for years.
Exactly. Yeah.
And, so my actual goods, the first one is just not making Melissa a bad person. Like in a lesser movie, the Melissa character would be obnoxious. She would be like, haughty and feeling like, she's the fish out of water character, but she has a white collar job and all these blue collar schmucks, and I'm better than you and I'm more educated than you. You don't get that feeling from Melissa. She is clearly out of her element, but she's trying to keep up to the extent she's capable of. And in the scene with Joe, she calls out Joe, but she doesn't do it. She does it in a way that still gives Joe some dignity. Right. And especially, the breakup scene with Bill, like she just sort of acknowledges reality and her place in it. And I'm glad that they didn't make her character to be more kind of scathing.
Yeah, I agree. And they easily could have, because this movie clearly is going to put Bill and Joe back together.
Yeah, of course it is.
And I agree with you. I like that she wasn't written in a way that we were rooting against her.
Yeah, she's not a villain.
No.
She's the audience stand-in.
She's the third wheel and then recognizes I'm the third wheel.
Yeah.
Fourth wheel if you include the tornadoes. Like
Fifth wheel if you include Dusty.
It's true. You know, like that would have been a fun little side bit.
If Melissa and Dusty end up together.
Because they spend like the whole
they
movie
do.
together.
Yeah. I'm just so taken by Dusty. Yeah, so that's my first good. My second good is Bill's reaction to seeing Jonas on TV. He just goes, "What a wiener." I don't know what it is. I just find the word wiener just endlessly entertaining.
Yeah.
And the fact that they just, what a wiener.
What a wiener. Like, of all the things you could have said.
Yes. All like the words. What a wiener.
Yeah, that's the insult you pull out.
Yeah, that's what you go for. What a wiener. And then my last good is towards the end, as the big F5 is just destroying the communities, and they're trying to get the Dorothy in front of it. It tears through a farm like a Tractor Supply store, and we see that they're selling both John Deere and International brand tractors.
Oh, nice.
And growing up, both of my grandfathers insisted we are only using International. So especially my mom's dad, like we only drive International, and it was nice because John Deere is typically what you associate, especially these days, with farm equipment. But it was nice to see International get some love too. So that's my third good.
Nice.
Support the red tractor. So Oz, what are your two bads?
To kind of go with one of your goods here, I didn't like just how neglectful Bill was of Melissa.
Yeah.
Especially because he's supposed to be part of our good guy squad. And he wasn't like disrespectful to her. He just, this is the world he wants to live in. He had gotten away from it because of the disconnect with Joe. In the first, it's like someone who'd gone clean, and then he got a taste, and then was right back in. And like you said, he forgot Melissa's name at one point. Like I just, so I didn't like how neglectful Bill is of Melissa. And two, the effects of this movie benefit from non-HD formats.
Yes.
1996, DVD wasn't really even a thing yet. And even DVD quality, 720p or whatever, like you could hide the blemishes of the effects of this movie. It's still fun. It doesn't take away from it, but it
works enough.
Yeah. But to watch it in HD, like my wife and I did the last couple of days, or to catch it on cable or whatever, it's not scary. Like, if when this come out in 96 and you watched it in the theaters in Oklahoma, it probably was a little bit of Psycho-esque, Jaws-esque of like, ugh, like we have tornadoes around here, like what if, a lot of those what ifs. And then you watch this and you're like, yeah, like Wizard of Oz tornado was more believable than some of these are. But but so that's my second bad. What do you got?
For my two bads, I'm going to start with the Hollywood portrayal of what a therapist is. Again, Melissa is some kind of, she works in mental health. They don't say exactly. She's probably either a psychiatrist or a psychologist. But she's taken calls from her clients like on her personal time. She has no boundaries. She's portrayed as kind of weak. Just the character herself is again, she's the fish out of water. She's out of her element, and so she's kind of panicky. And I don't like the implication that if you work in mental health, you have no boundaries and that you're emotionally fragile.
Right.
Like I don't like that. And then my other bad is just a couple of things. Again, it's a fun movie that is realistic enough. And then at the end, they drop a house in front of them and they literally have to plow Bill's truck through the house. So there's just a couple of things like they're trying to jazz it up. We're in Act 3. It's the actiony stuff. They toss the oil tanker in front of Bill and Joe, and then they literally have to drive the truck through a house that has landed in the road.
But that Dodge Ram had so much torque. How are you supposed to showcase the torque?
I'm sure there was product placement too.
Yeah.
There's clearly product placement for Pepsi.
Yeah.
Which was another possible bad I had.
Pepsi will cut your fingers. A lot of bloody knuckles cutting up these. But yeah, otherwise though,
you can't science without Pepsi.
No, and torque. So,
so it got a little much for me towards the end.
That's fair.
Not to the point that I would say driving through the house took me out of the movie for a couple of moments.
Yeah,
but it whatever. It was just a bit too much at the end.
That's fair.
Yeah. So Oz, what's your
I got two.
Sure.
My first one is not my official one, but where'd they keep all the extra Dorothy units?
Yeah.
They always had one ready. Like it was at the ready. And my second, the one I'm going to go with, and this one I'm going to credit to my wife. But at the end, when the tornado goes through the movie theater or the drive-in theater, and then pivots toward Wakita and Aunt Meg's house, and it levels everything.
Yes.
How'd they get the roads cleared so quickly in Wakita?
Yeah.
Because
maybe it had the opposite because the debris from all the other tornadoes only landed on the road. Maybe at night. That's the difference.
The tornado wanted Joe to see what it had done. Like, so it left the roads open so that she could get easy access. But I mean, just devastation and debris everywhere except the roads. And they're pulling in about the same time as the ambulance are pulling. Like, nothing has to be removed from the roads. So that Jenny had added that one. We're watching. She goes, "How'd they get those roads cleared so quickly?" I'm like, "That's my new
That's pretty good. Yeah. Tip of the cap to Jenny. Good job on that. Good catch.
So, what's your
I got the one I probably originally was going to go with. We already talked about. Like Dad's right at the beginning. Dad is holding the storm shelter door closed to prevent the whole family from getting sucked out of there. And then the door flies off, and he gets sucked out, but the family doesn't. So. He could have just gone to the back of the shelter.
Yeah, he could have.
But then we wouldn't have a movie, Oz.
Right. Well, and he didn't know. They didn't know it was the first tornado.
That's it. If only they had the Dorothy units deployed, they would have known.
They would have known.
But another possible is what company's corporate sponsored Jonas? We didn't see any logos on the sides of their vans and SUVs. Pepsi. Pepsi, John Deere,
Wayland Yutani.
Building a better future. Wayland Yutani.
Yutani.
I think that was their slogan, wasn't it? Building a better future.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah. Wayland Yutani. I like that. Wayland Yutani. Which, for those keeping score, is an Alien Universe reference there.
Well, and you got Paul Reiser.
That's true, man. About
to go with Helen Hunt. So he's
Yutani.
Really trying to stick it to her by sponsoring her.
He works for the company.
Yeah. He's mad at her, is what it was.
So, yes, it was Wayland Yutani in their infancy. I love it. My actual though, we've talked around this as well. Can tornadoes target people?
Yeah. Well, to second that, can people feel tornadoes? like Bill, he just stands in the field just staring. You need to go that way.
Well, and they talk about that too. That's when they're introducing the Jonas character, he's in it for the money, not the science. And Bill goes further to say he doesn't have the instincts.
Yeah. He doesn't. I just Bill and his relationship with tornadoes is like the way Hollywood portrays Native American trackers.
Mm-hmm.
They just stand there. They don't do anything. They just stand there, and then suddenly, he's 7 clips that way.
Yeah. He's Billy from Predator.
Yeah, that's where I was going. He's Billy from Predator.
At one point, Bill and Twister takes out his machete and just cuts his chest and stands in front of the tornado.
Bill Paxton's worked with Schwarzenegger before.
We're all gonna die here.
He's too much man for. He was given the shot of Billy in Predator, but he's I was in Aliens, Wayland Yutani,
Wayland Yutani. There's a through line there, yeah. I absolutely love that. Bill is Billy from Predator.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah. So I that's my hunt. Can tornadoes target people?
That's a good one.
And because it pivoted and chased him at the end.
She's knocking over tables to slow it down.
At one point, Like she's on her back just begging it.
Right.
No.
She trips in the woods and then has to get up.
It turns into a Final Girl chase sequence.
It's hiding behind a tree as the camera like pans across her, and we see the tornado looking for her in the background. She's hiding from it.
It's a horror movie scene where she's walking backwards and she's on the edge of the frame, so you can't see what's coming. And she backs into the tornado and
backs into the tornado. Yeah. It'll get her.
Yeah, it will. It's gonna get you.
Yep.
The other thing was, here's another backup hunt. Did Joe only wear white tank tops? Like, how many white tank tops?
That's all she packed. They didn't have room. They only had room for 4 Dorothys and 2 white tanks.
That's it. We had to make room for the Dorothys. You can't bring any luggage with.
No one else changed their clothes.
Because she took the shower at Aunt Meg's, and you presume that she changed her clothes, and she's just wearing a white tank top again.
Just put it back on.
But she'd just been in that ditch.
Yeah. Well, she showered with it on.
Okay.
And then once she got the dirt and grime off of it, she took it off to shower the rest of her body, and she just put back on a dripping wet tank top.
And they ran out of soap, so she used bleach to shower with.
She showered in bleach. That's all Aunt Meg has is bleach and steak. Like
I'd shop there. bleach and steak.
Bleach and steak.
We'll wash your whites and fill your belly with protein.
That's true. Whites and reds. That's all we got.
Bleach and steak. That, folks, is 1996's Twister. Another fun episode.
It was a fun episode, yeah.
This one got better as we went along. I'm still disappointed in my afterthought movie marriage here.
Yeah, it's all right.
But yeah,
we've got another episode though of Gosh Barnett month.
We do. We're just getting started with Gosh Barnett.
Yes, we are. We're gonna. This is one of those months where it's very roller coastery in terms of quality of film.
Well, and as well as like genre too. We're all
genres
because Barnes transcend genre.
Yeah, I mean honestly, we're probably in 4 movies this month, 4 different genres. We just finished an action film, and we've got a horror movie coming up next week. As we are going to dip into one of my favorite franchises, we are going to watch Friday the 13th. The final chapter. That is the 4th movie in the Friday the 13th franchise. And it does feature a barn. Matter of fact, there's a barn in the opening scene.
Yeah, there is. I watched it last night. And it's
story continuity. The end of part 3, Jason is hung from a hayloft out, obviously in a barn. And he's hung and left for dead. They open the barn doors to see Jason's hanging body as he then comes awake, takes off his mask, takes off the noose. Anyway, they end up quote unquote killing Jason. And that is where Friday part 4 picks up, is that next morning. So we get a barn right off the bat.
Yeah, right there. Just a couple minutes in.
This is arguably the best in the Friday franchise. I won't say they all have staying power. The first one obviously is iconic. Part 3 in 3D is iconic. He gets his hockey mask, but this one's probably the most polished of the franchise.
Which says something about the franchise as a whole. But
but that's par for the horror franchises through the 80s anyway, whether it's Halloween or Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th or Hellraiser, or they're turds. But they're fun turds. Like they're a turd you don't mind dropping after a good meal. Like
it's a satisfying turd.
Yeah, this isn't what you drop after I had 2 banquet pot pies last night and I'm not enjoying it. This is Cheesecake Factory level turd.
Cheesecake Factory.
It's still not like
through the 24-page menu.
Exactly. Yeah, the sticky 24-page menu. But we get Tom Savini in his first movie with the Friday franchise. We get honestly probably the strongest quote unquote cast.
Yeah, some fun supporting characters.
Corey Feldman, Crispin Glover. You get arguably the gnarliest death scene at the end of this one. And Joseph Zito directed it. Joseph Zito had previously directed The Prowler, which is a really strong slasher movie from the early 80s. Went on to direct a couple of Chuck Norris movies, Missing in Action and Invasion USA, which is arguably one of, like, again, in the hierarchy of Chuck Norris films, but you've got like Chuck Norris in a canon film, like
the pantheon of Chuck Norris films.
You know, so he's capable as a director. You know, he's done a couple of things before. He did a couple of things after. But this is one of my favorite Friday movies. I think storyline, while they're all kind of rinse and repeat stories, this one has it's less Jason focused.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is less Jason focused. This is where I think the franchise really started to understand why the people are watching these movies.
Yeah.
You know, part 1 was obviously a mystery. They had no idea where it was going. Part 2 was about the kills. You didn't care about the cast.
Yeah.
Part 3, it was gimmicky with the 3D. You didn't care about the cast. This one's really like, you know, let's actually give us some characters that matter.
Yeah, and there's enough plot.
Yeah. Let's give us some characters that have they're more than just a body bag in waiting. So
yeah, and more than just rowdy teens.
Yeah. And so I'm excited for this one. We don't cover a ton of horror on the show. You know, I don't know if we've done a Nightmare movie yet. I don't know if we've done a Halloween.
We did New Nightmare.
Right. Mandy Cave. So you know, when it comes to like the big 3 horror franchises, you know, we haven't done much with them, and so I'm excited because
and this is right in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, it's the phrase I was going to take. This is right in my wheelhouse. So we will be back next week with episode 2 of Gosh Barnett Month to cover Friday the 13th, final chapter. You know, again, social media wise, Facebook, Instagram, you can find links on the website, letstalkaboutflix.com, as well as the whole back catalog. And for another week of Let's Talk About Flicks, I'm Oz.
I'm Curtis.
And we'll see you next week with Friday the 13th, the final chapter.